Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about the infallible process expert Java developers use to diagnose and fix their production application. My name is Vipin Sharma. I'm a senior software developer. I help professional Java developers to learn language features so they can work on the best Java projects. I write about language features on my blog jfeatures.com. Today we are going to talk about how do you troubleshoot problems in your Java applications using free and open source tools available with your JDK. And we have divided these tools into three categories. First is tools uh, which are used with running Java process. Second one is troubleshooting a hang Java process. And third one is a tool to debug your Java application when you do not have IDE. Now we'll see all these commands in action. We'll try to define set of steps you need to take to troubleshoot any problem in your Java application. For that, I'll share my screen. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to run a Java program. So this program creates a deadlock. I'm running this program. Okay. And the first command we are going to see is JPS. It helps you to list down process IDs, Java process IDs. These are your process IDs. You can also specify a argument M that displays arguments passed to the your Java program. So in my case, this is my Java program deadlock AOS. This is process ID, and these are the two arguments I passed. Okay. There's one more option available in JPS, JPS minus V. It helps you to display JVM arguments passed to the Java program. You can read more about JPNs on my blog. There is a specific blog post on that. I'll clear my screen and we'll go to the next command, jinfo. So in some cases, you may want to see VM flags. You may want to check VM flags for your Java process. For that, the helpful command is jinfo. JInfo can be used like this. You specify minus flags, you give process ID, and you see all the flags. And it's like a lot of information. Maybe you just want some specific information. Maybe you just want to see information related to G1, GC. So you can use this flag like this, and you get this information. Okay. Then you also have an option. You can check system properties. What were the system properties passed to your Java program? This is how you check system properties. Okay. Now the next command is going to be jmap. So now we have seen so far JPS points process IDs, JInfo provides information for Java process. Now we'll see if you need to take if you want to take a look at memory, what is going on in your Java process. Jmap is a command to help. The first thing in Jmap, first option is I would like to show histogram. So this is how you take histogram. Let me show you what is there in histogram. See, it has number of instances, and then it has size in bytes, and then it has a class name. So for example, we'll take a string. So for a string, there are 10,713 instances. But in some case, if you see millions or billions of strings, you can clearly identify, oh, this is where I have a problem. So if you suspect there can be any problem, there is any problem with your Java program, maybe memory usage is high. This is very helpful. This is very helpful. In case you have any custom object and you're creating in your program too many custom objects, then you will see clearly here somewhere that okay, these are the number of instances for your custom object. Okay, so very helpful command, histo command. But some cases histo command is not sufficient, you want to see everything in memory. Then in that case, the helpful option is jmap provide option to take heap dump. So heap dump can be taken like this. Okay, you see heap dump is created. Just try to see if that is created successfully. Yes, it is created. Okay, now you can use any tool to troubleshoot more into this heap dump, like Eclipse Mat is the tool I use generally. Okay, Now the next thing is we try to see stack trace thread dump of your Java program. So far we know we have a problem deadlock. Program creates a deadlock, but we are not able to figure out where is the deadlock. If this program creates a deadlock, if this is what going wrong in my program. So for that you can use jstack. Jstack is used like this. You specify jstack, then PID, and then jstack has couple of options. I'm using -e option. For more options in detail, you can check my blog post. For now, we have taken a thread dump, and let's see content of thread dump. We see this is a thread dump. We see threads, information related to threads. Now let's go to the bottom first of all. If we go to bottom, it clearly says found one deadlock. Yes, you have a deadlock in your program. And if you go a little bit up, we scroll a little bit up, it says found one Java level deadlock, and it clearly prints the thread IDs as well, thread names as well. So this is thread name. I can search this thread name. Okay, so this is my thread name. It clearly prints this information. Yes, it has couple of things: priority, OS priority, CPU, elapsed time, allocated. So all these are specific. Like what is meaning of all these fields? It is given on my blog post. Due to time constraint, I'm not explaining this, but you can go to my blog post related to JStack on jfeatures.com, and this is clearly explained over there. One thing I would like to highlight: the allocated here. The allocated is something which says, okay, this thread has allocated this many bytes. Okay, so we can see in case there's some memory problem or in case there's something else, we want to figure out how much memory this thread is allocated. This is the way we can find out. Okay, and we are getting this because we specified -e option. So far we have seen four commands: jps, jinfo, jmap, and jstack. We also have our next command jcmd. Jcmd has a lot of features which are already covered by jstack, jmap, jinfo, and jps. We'll see jcmd now, how it helps you. This is jcmd. You just run jcmd and it does something similar to what jps minus m does. Let's try jps minus m as well, and you get something similar here. Okay, now the another command we have in jcmd is, let's see how can we print a thread dump using jcmd. This is the way you specify jcmd process id thread.print, and you get your thread dump. Here's your thread dump. You can go to bottom and you can see there's one deadlock and everything is same. Okay, now you can also try to print VM flags. This is how you print VM flags. Okay, this is the same information we saw using jinfo. Jinfo also gives you VM flags. Okay, and then you can also print system properties like jinfo we were able to print. This is the way you print system properties, and in jinfo we were running same command, similar command like this. Okay, so just to show you commands, the similarity. See this? This is for jinfo flags for system properties. This is for jinfo system properties using jinfo. I should say tail -6. Okay, and now here's what I would like to highlight. We can also create a heap dump using jcmd. This is the way you create heap dump. You specify PID and then you specify option gc.heap dump, and then in you say all equals to true, my dump. For more details on the options, you can go through my blog post on jcmd. That will help you. Also, you can type jcmd minus help. The good thing is this help command works with all the other commands available in JDK. So you can type help in jstack as well. You can type help in jinfo as well. Okay. So you get a lot of this information, but for more details on examples of this, you can visit my blog and you can see over there. The commands we have seen so far can be used on a process running online. There's no problem in the process. Okay, it is not hanged, it is not stuck. But what do you do when your process is stuck, it is hanged? Then you can use another command, very helpful command, jhsdb. Jhsdb has a couple of modes. You can just type jhsdb and it is going to give you the modes information. So to quickly go through this, clhsdb is command line debugger, hsdb is UI debugger, then we have a couple of other things. Let's see a few of the things in this demo, and for more details, you can visit my blog. There's one dedicated blog post for jhsdb. So the first command we are going to use along with a core dump. So let's say you have a core dump and then you want to analyze that core dump using jhsdb. So this is how you do it. You run a command jhsdb clhsdb. You specify minus core because you are analyzing a core dump. This is how you specify this, and then you need to specify exe. Exe is the Java process, which was used to create this thread dump. It will be the same Java process. Okay. Now you can type help over here, and you will see our options available here. Options available with jhsdb. So like we have threads, we have thread, we have uh, where. Okay, let's try to use some of these commands. I'll use threads. Okay, I got thread IDs, and I know this is in blocked state. I want to see where it is blocked. I want to see the threads or thread dump for this particular thread. You can say where and thread ID, and I got the thread stack trace. Okay, now we can also specify sysprops, and we can print system properties used by this Java process. Okay, so all this information I would like to highlight we are taking from a core dump. And then we can, very helpful command, we can specify history, and you see history of all the commands you have executed so far. And in case you want to see your parameters of garbage collection in the process, you can say universe, and you see heap parameters, g1 heap, hidden space, capacity, free, everything, all the information you might require. I'll say quit, I'll come out of it. GHSDB has one more mode, we call that UI mode. We'll see how that works. For that, I need to share my screen as well, the part of screen where I see a UI debugger. Let me bring that up. This is UI debugger. You see, you have list of threads by default. All the threads are given over here. Now I'll try to see more information from the tools. So you can click on access flags. You get all the flags related information here. You can see survivor padding, all the flags, all your favorite flags like use-gc. We can see. Let's try to see. Yes, here it is. Use-gc is true. Then you have some other options like you can see show system properties. Yes, you can see all the system properties given here. Then you can see object histogram. It generates a histogram. So a lot of options available. All this is coming from a core dump. Okay. For now, I'll quit this tool. Let's look at Jhsdb mode jinfo. This is one more mode Jhsdb has. So this is jinfo mode. What we are doing here is we are saying run the command jinfo with flags, and this is going to be running over the core. This is my core dump. This is again the same exe I have specified, and this is similar to what we have information. This output is similar to what we have in jinfo. Similarly, we can also execute this in jhsdb mode. And when I'm going to run this in jhsdb, it is going to generate a thread dump. Let me take that in file. Okay, let's try to see contents of this file. Okay, same thing. There's one thing extra here you will find. You will also see stack trace for native processes. So if you look at this, it has OS platform monitor. This is not a Java process. This is all operating system specific process. Okay, you can see on top. These are few more things related to operating system. Okay, you will also see your Java process. So this is our Java process. Okay, so you see this log support.park. It all started with thread.run, but how thread.run started, that information is also here. Okay, and how did we get this information? Because we specified jstack minus mixed. So with mixed, with this argument, we are able to get the extra information we saw. It is important to note GHSDB can be used with a running Java process as well, but this is not recommended as per documentation. If you are using this with the running Java process, it may get hanged as well. So we need to be cautious of this fact. But just to show you for completeness how it works, this is how it works. So I'm using GHSDB in JStack mode with PID. Earlier we were using it with the uh, core hyphen core argument with the core dump we specified. Now we specified a PID. It says attaching, and then it has printed stack trace as well. Okay. Now we have one more mode in JStack. We call it debug server mode. So we can start a debug server and then we can connect with that debug server. So that is another kind of a mode we have. Last kind of mode in GHSDB. This is the way it works. So I'm specifying GHSDB debug D with PID, and then I'm giving server ID test. Okay, so I started a server, debug server. The next command I'm going to be attaching with this. So I'll open a new tab. The new tab I'm going to attach. So what I'm saying is jhsdb run jstack command, connect with test at the rate localhost test, because I specified here server ID test, and I'm saying localhost because this is running on my local server. And then I want to take this entire output into the file td underscore jhsdb underscore debug.txt. Okay, let's look at the file. we have our output. It clearly says found a total of one deadlock. Okay, let's go bottom of it and few other information over here. Okay, so far we have seen different modes available in JHSDB. Just to summarize, these are, sorry, there was a typo. So just to summarize, these are different modes available. We saw command line mode, we saw UI mode, we saw debug server just before this, and then jstack, jmap, jinfo. These are similar modes. Okay, and there are a couple of ways to connect it with core dump, with PID, and more details about JHSDB. You can go to my blog jfishers.com and read about it. Now we are at the last step, last command we are going to check, which is Jdb. So let's run Jdb with the Java class test. This test is just a test program I have written. So this is my test program, and I'll show you what is there in the test program. I'll kill this debug server. This is my test program. I think it is good to see the line numbers as well, because we are going to debug this program. Okay, so this is my program, Java program test.java, and I attached a JDB. So with JDB, I'm going to debug this program. And what are the options available in JDB? How can you debug? You can see in help. Okay, but few important commands, like if you are going through, if you are debugging a program, what would you like to do? You would like to stop that program at some point, at some line number, right? You want to put a debugger. Okay, let's do that. So we want to put a line debugger on line number 5. So for that, the command is going to be like this: stop at test 5. Okay, deferring breakpoint till test colon 5. It will be set after class is loaded. So class is not loaded, right? So we need to run the class first. So for that, this is my program, run. Okay, I started that program, and now I can see breakpoint hit. There is a breakpoint hit at line number this, and it says first line of the main function. I'll go back and check code. Okay, yes, this is right. The first line of main function. Okay, I'm at the right point. Okay, now the other thing what we would like to do is step through this. Okay, so go to the next step. For that, I can do a step. Okay, step completed. I can do one more step. Okay, and these steps completed. Okay, now next thing I would like to see is I would like to check some variables. I would like to check some variable of value of some variables. Okay, so for that, let's stop it at line number 11. Okay, let's see what is there on line number 11. So debug is going to stop out over here at I equals to 2. So before this, we are expecting value of I equals to 0. So let's print the value. We are printing it, so we should use print I. Okay, I is null. Okay, because this is happening because we have not compiled this program uh, in debug with debug flag. Okay, let's do that. Let's compile this program in debug with debug flag. Okay, now this is compiled, and I'm going to be using JDB test on this. Okay, initialize the program. I should put a breakpoint. Okay, and then I'll run the pro code. Okay, breakpoint hit, and now I'm going to print the variable, print I. Okay, now I see variable is printed, I equals to 0. I can go to next step. On the next step, what we are expecting is line number 11 is setting I equals to 2, and it is going to print system.out.println. Okay, so let's print the value of I. This is I equals to 2. This is as expected. Now I can run step command and I can say, okay, yes, start the program, and it will now go in the while loop. We can see it's here, step completed. And in the program, we can see it goes in while loop. It will run forever. Okay. Now we completed all the commands. Let's go back to our presentation. So we covered three type of commands. First category is troubleshooting a running Java process. Second category is troubleshooting a hang Java process using Jhsdb. And third is a command line debugger when you do not have access to IDE. Okay, so basically what we are trying to establish here is a process. Okay, how do you troubleshoot any Java application if you have any problem in your Java application? So the just to recap, how do you do this? First thing is you check the process IDs. Often it is useful, very useful. You take process IDs. Maybe you want to restart the process. Maybe you want to kill the process. So you need process ID for that. Then you may want to look at what is going on in JVM. What were the VM flags passed to this Java application? So for that you use jinfo. You want to check anything in memory, then you use jmap. If you want to see stack trace of all the threads, you want to check the thread dump, then you use jstack. And jcmd is the command which has a lot of features available in jps, jinfo, jmap, and jstacks. This is one command. If you want to learn, go ahead and learn this command today. Then the next category, jhsdb. We saw how you can use jhsdb on a hang Java process, or if your program crashed and it created a core dump, you can create a core dump on hang Java process as well. For more details, you can go and check my blogs. I have given instructions to create core dump over there. And the next thing is JDB. Sometimes you don't have access to your IDE, your favorite IDE, Eclipse or IntelliJ, whatever you are using. And there are cases when it cannot be replicated on your local machine. It can be replicated only on the server. Then what do you do? So this is very helpful command in those cases, JDB. This is the command line available. It comes along with JDK. So it is always available on your machines, production machine or test machines. Okay. So we are done with our commands. Now, last part, questions. Feel free to ask questions. I'm here and you can ping me on the chat. While you are thinking about questions, here is my contact detail on Twitter handle and my email ID. In case you're not able to ask questions right now, you can send me questions on Twitter or email. I'll try to respond as soon as possible. Also, you can go to my site jfeatures.com and get free ebook on 5 steps to best Java jobs. Hi, you can send me questions on chat or you can ask here. And don't forget to collect prizes. Go to Foojay channel, Slack channel, and answer the questions there. Now I see a question. The knowledge you can analyze columns using HSDB. Jhsdb is good knowledge. Better than stepping through native code with GDB. That's true. See, with JDB you can do that, but JDB is for C++ developers. With JDB you are going to see operating system calls, right? So maybe for someone that is helpful, but for Java developer that is not helpful. Java developers would like to see Java classes, methods, stack trace. You may want to see what was there in my heap. So for that, jhsdb is the command. And the good thing is all of these commands I talked about today are part of OpenJDK. So if you are running your application using JDK, all of these are available to you. And for more details, you can go to my blog, jfishes.com. I have detailed blog post on jhsdb. Uh, we have a question from Daniel. Are you using some of the commands as pipe inputs, like piping output from into another? I did not use anything like that so far, but these are really Linux commands. So in case you would like to do, you can do that. No, if yes, which? I mean, I have not done, but if you want to do that, then what you can do is maybe one thing comes in mind straightforward is PID, right? You get the PID from jcmd. So you can get the PID from jcmd and you can pass that to other commands. Okay. So something not I have done it, something not I have tried it as well. Okay. But these are Linux commands. You can do this. And sorry, I should not say Linux commands. I have been using that on Linux, but yes, these are available on all operating systems. So Windows, Mac as well. But generally, like piping and all, I have done that in only in Linux. I'm not sure how it works on Windows. Mac is going to be similar. Does that answer your question, Daniel? Or maybe you can tell me the specific questions. What exactly do you want to pipe in into some command? So yeah, I was not using anything differently. Like all of these examples were very basic examples. I'm glad it helped. So all of these are very basic examples of all the troubleshooting commands available in OpenJDK. Okay. Yeah, I think I think that's a good thought. You may want to use that information because you need PID for other commands. Okay, right. But in my case, what I did was in Linux, you have ability to choose your PID. I was able to choose my PID. Okay, and That's where I use the same PID everywhere. Send me your questions here on chat while you are thinking about questions. You can send me questions or my Twitter handle as well. You have my Twitter handle, Vipin VIT. You can send me an email, vipin@jfeatures.com. And you can go to my blog, jfeatures.com, and collect your free ebook. That is an ebook, 5 steps to best Java jobs. That book is helpful if you are preparing for interviews. Oh, how did you set PID for application? Let me give you the command exactly. So on Linux, you can use this. It gives me the next PID, which is going to be 10,000. So for my case, PID was 10,000.